Hello and welcome to the Old Flyers. In the south of England is the New Forest, proclaimed as royal by William the Conqueror in 1079. Here the nobility came to hunt deer and wild pig. Almost 1,000 years later, more than 90% of this land is still owned by the British Crown. This sleepy corner of England was to play a vital role in both the First and Second World Wars. Its strategic location on the south coast was crucial to a range of operational activities, from hospitals and airfields to prisoner of war camps and D-Day embarkation harbours. The forest has a fascinating wartime past. On D-Day, thousands of troops with their vehicles and supplies left Britain via locations such as Leap Beach in the New Forest for the beaches of Normandy. At the height of World War II, there were 12 airfields and landing grounds in and around the New Forest. This does not include temporary airstrips such as Breamore House, north of Fordingbridge. Here, there is a grass airstrip for light aircraft which was used by General Patton. It also had a secondary grass airstrip 3 miles north of the house. Ashley Walk Bombing Range near Fordingbridge also had 2 light aircraft airstrips. This airfield's map doesn't include East Boulder Airfield, which closed in 1918. In addition to this, there were decoy airfields created in the New Forest designed to draw bombs away from genuine airfields. Those dummy airfields were located in Verwood, namely Moores Valley, Wood Green, Ridley Plain and Sway. The larger of the airfields were Bewley Airfield, RAF Holmesley South, Herne, Ibsley and Stony Cross. All of these were built with 3 concrete runways and a full set of hangars, dispersal pans, supporting buildings, living areas and infrastructure. We are going to look at Stony Cross Airfield. Why? Because my wife spent her childhood near there. She remembers early mornings picking mushrooms at Stony Cross. Stony Cross Village is only a few miles outside Southampton, one of Britain's major ports and a frequent target of German night raids. Stony Cross was where the German bombers turned either east towards London or southwest to Southampton. There were frequent air raid alerts. This created confusion and disruption for the villagers. Stony Cross Airfield's planned purpose was clouded in secrecy. It was thought to have been intended as a sort of stealth or contingency airfield with minimum buildings for use in the event of an invasion of the UK. With the ever-changing demands of wartime, the original plans were changed. It was built by the British Army and opened in November 1942. It became an advanced base for both fighters and bombers, initially occupied by the RAF even as the base was being constructed. The RAF Army Cooperation Command flew Mark I Mustang aircraft from here. Mustang pilots have poor forward visibility when taxiing, so no surprise when a Mustang collided with a contractor's lorry, causing 3 deaths. From June 1943, part of RAF 38 Wing arrived, flying mainly Armstrong Whitworth Albemarles. These units were training to tow the large Horsa gliders built at the Airspeed factory in nearby Christchurch. They would carry paratroopers in the invasion of Europe. The American Army Air Force set up a factory to build the smaller Waco Hadrian gliders at the airfield. These were shipped in kit form from America. Stony Cross was allocated to the 9th Air Force in March 1944 as a forward base for tactical fighters. It was occupied from April to July 1944 by the 367th Fighter Group, equipped with P-38 Lightnings. Lieutenant Ed Wigham, the group radar officer, wrote in his diary, "We arrived at Stony Cross in the middle of the night and the next morning found a large airbase temporarily operated by the Royal Air Force that was covered with brand new silver P-38 Lightnings. We had our first breakfast of powdered eggs, powdered milk and bread that tasted almost like straw." End of quote. Because of cultural differences between the RAF and US personnel, there were occasional irritations and differences, but those were transitory and minor. On their first liberty in Southampton, the Americans had more money than they could spend. They went from pub to pub, buying up all the pub's meagre allotment of alcohol. The Brits did not mind much, as the Americans avoided the warm beer, ale and stout, leaving it to the locals. The 387th Bomb Group moved in on 21 July 1944 with 4 squadrons of Martin B-26 Marauder medium bombers. Stony Cross was an ideal airfield with its open aspect and long runways, as the B-26s had high takeoff and landing speed requirements. The most successful B-26 stationed at Stony Cross was named 5x5 after a popular song of the time. This plane flew 100 missions from Stony Cross and total 188 missions by the end of the war. As World War II came to an end, a passenger and freight terminal was built to accommodate returning troop flights from the Far East. Stony Cross Airfield was handed back to the RAF in September 1944. It was then used as a transport base until 1946 and closed in 1948. As part of the New Forest Crown Land, the site was taken over by the Forestry Commission in the 1950s. Now, forest ponies once again graze peacefully there. Thank you for watching. Comments welcome. Please like and subscribe to promote new content.